Hello?
Goodbye. Oh, fuck.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Marcos. Today I will be talking about no other than the controversial game Forspoken and why it is a big problem for gaming. I know plenty of people have covered this game already, and let me tell you, it's far worse than they actually say it is. One of my close friends had this game and beat it, so I asked him if he could let me borrow it because I was interested in seeing what all the fuss was about. Everyone is saying it's bad, terrible, and a disaster. Usually I don't rely on critics because most of the time they are paid actors who barely play video games. I've said this in my video about Days Gone, how they defamed this amazing game to the point of extinction simply because the main protagonist was a white straight male. Anyways, let's get right into Forspoken. Let's start with the elephant in the room, our main protagonist, Frey Holland, a black female New Yorkan who's had a rough life and has a problem with following the law. Lives like a homeless and has a cat. At first this seemed interesting, Some people can relate, not everyone was born into a rich family, and she certainly did not have her parents to guide her through her life, which shows how important parents are to kids. But in this day and age, they want to take that power away from parents and let kids decide for themselves about transitioning to a different sex, and teachers having a say over the parents about what subjects their own kids should learn in school, and plenty more disturbing things that are happening in the real world. So I thought, hey, Frey is a good example of what happens when you don't have a parent to raise you. But my problem with this character is that she's not likable at all. Her attitude is disgusting. She has this attitude like she owns the place, that no one's better than her, and that she knows absolutely everything. She also has this I don't care about anything vibe that looks forced into her arc, that I was cringing the entire game at. Like, who thought this hideous character was a good idea? Not only does she have a terrible personality, but literally everything she says must have a bad word to it. Hey, I am not Captain America telling Tony Stark to watch his language. I rarely care about profanity in gaming at all. I find them to be funny at times, but in this game they're obnoxious. Sometimes you're interested in what's going on in the world and she randomly says, fuck it, I will do whatever the hell I want. Seriously, sometimes it made me want to turn off this game and burn it to the ground. But then I remember it wasn't mine to begin with and I just continued. Her arc is not bad. I get that she's pissed at the world. I mean, she lives in a democratic state. That alone would be annoying to me. She also didn't have her parents to raise her and give her guidance. But still, she's an adult and acts like a child in the entire game. She doesn't have character development at all. She progressively gets worse as the game goes on. Honestly, it's hard to play with Frey Holland more than 2 hours. If I was from New York or a black female, I would be screaming racism and misrepresentation to the creators of this game. I would really be offended to be represented like the soulless character that Frey Holland is. But that's not all. Her emotions in the game. Man, I hated looking at her face. It was so dull and bored of everything she was doing. Like, seriously, she could be learning a new magic spell or doing something really interesting, and she will have this annoyed, pissed off look. This has to be the worst character in gaming history, in my opinion. I mean, I am down to argue in the comment section if you find someone more annoying and shitty than Frey Holland in Forspoken. If you don't believe me, make sure you don't buy the game, borrow it from a friend, and play it for 10 minutes and you will see what I'm talking about. Let's talk about the gameplay. One way to describe it, absolute trash. Some of these critics give this game credit on traversing by saying that it looks fun and looks cool. Sure, for the first 30 minutes it does. After that, it's the same shit all over again. Look, if you want a cool traversing mechanic, go play Spider-Man Miles Morales or the OG Spider-Man, not this game. Seriously, it's at least 20 times better than this game. How do you travel in this game? Well, by magical stamina boots. Yes, how original. Instead of having a dragon or having a magic horse to ride on in a huge magical world, no, you have magic boots, which has a very little stamina bar that you can upgrade much later on in the game as you unlock spells. It's terrible, it's wonky. Sometimes as I am jumping, this horrible mechanic fails and makes Frey do whatever the hell she wants. At least in PS5, I am experiencing this problem. Maybe it's better on PC or Xbox, I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section if her walking, running is clunky for you as well as me in these other consoles. The activities in this game are repetitive. It's a huge empty open world game. Yes, another one of those. Then they try to make the world look alive by adding activities like dungeons, looting treasures, and some brainless puzzles they add. You better like it because you'll be doing these activities a million times over. It's tough to play through this game, especially with Frey talking stupid shit all of the time and every single stupid activity you decide to do. Let's talk about the combat, spells, and skills levels. The scaling in this game is progressively slow. You essentially unlock new spells as you go, and your magic becomes gradually more powerful over time. It's like any other RPG game you have ever played, nothing out of the norm. But I found the magic spells to be boring most of the time. I did not have fun with the combat, it wasn't engaging enough for me. The first hours of the game, it felt like a third-person shooter game. This is my personal opinion, right? I like close combat games. At least give us the abilities to play the game how we choose to. Sure, I can use spells from time to time, but when you're shooting pebbles for 3 hours non-stop, it becomes boring. Luckily, after you kill Santas or Tantas or whatever the fuck they are called, you get a sword-like spell that lets you get close to your enemies. But it's very risky because monsters here, at least in high difficulty, kill you super easily. This is another problem I have with the game. It really takes 100 pebbles or sword slashes to kill an enemy. Enemies in the game are like Tempur-Pedic beds. They are sponges that take ridiculous amount of time to kill. Sometimes I've gotten a random enemy to half his health and decided to leave the middle of the battle because I refuse to continue on the madness. Why does this game do this to us? Make them more interesting. Make their AI a bit smarter. It's a cheap way to create difficulty by simply just augmenting their health of your opponents. The people who created this game were probably drugged on fentanyl while in the making of this disaster. Luckily, some boss fights were interesting and other characters, other than the one you have to spend your entire gameplay with, were compelling. Some parts of the game felt nice. Obviously, the males were the idiots on this game. The only male that you come highly in contact is a white male who has brain damage called Robin, who is the father of Auden, the nice lady who saves your ass from being imprisoned. Other than that, the judges are all females. The Tantas, the most powerful witches, females, or main protagonist, a female, or savior from being executed, another female. The father of her savior, a white male retard. It's so easy to catch the hate messaging this game has towards males that is pathetic. Anyways, let's talk about the story. Not the one from our idiot main protagonist. I mean the story or lore from this game. Tantas rebelled against their people, and a horrible curse was placed upon them to never leave town. Seriously, this is it. There's no creativity placed into it or anything that hasn't been done before. This plot is very predictable. Tantas are evil. You are good. Everything in the world is either corrupted or evil. That is it. It's like they don't want you to take the story serious at all. They just want you to be a mindless zombie just walking through this huge empty open world game and just obey their little side activities, which there's a billion of. I mean, just open up your world map and there's little sprinkles of a million repetitive things to do. So much fun, right? These activities felt like algebra homework in high school. This is a problem for gaming because a lot of games that have come out recently follow the exact same protocol that this game has. Look at Gotham Knights. The same exact game, but with different settings. Mostly useless skills to level up so you can take on enemy sponges, boring traversing mechanic, lazy writing, and a big empty open world trying to fool you into thinking it has a lot of things for you to do. I would have hoped the industry would have learned by now with games such as The Witcher, Red Dead Redemption, Days Gone, games were amazing, But no, they keep bringing the shit out and expect us to keep paying $70 for this mediocre disasters. This industry is a joke. It took a 10-year-old game remake like Dead Space to show people not every game has to be huge and empty. It could be compact and still carry meaning in it, and still have creativity and love put into it. There is no good AAA games anymore. They just want to be bigger than their competition, but compromise the delicacy of creating a compelling story, an interesting character, an interesting and immersive world that don't have to be huge. You can cut Forspoken map into half and make the world feel more dynamic and meaningful. Look at games like God of War 2018, Days Gone, Red Dead Redemption, The Witcher, the new Dead Space remake, and learn from them. These companies are greedy and money hungry machines who have lost the connection to their audience, us the gamers. I personally lost a lot of respect for the industry overall. All I can advise players to do is not to pre-order games anymore. In this day and age, it's not worth it when they bring out trash like this at full price. And I will also encourage players to play demos before buying, or watching honest actual gamer reviews like this one before purchasing and burning your money away. Let the bad apples rot and disappear so that we can make way for the ripe ones to grow. By not giving these people your money, you're sending a clear message, and one that hurts them a lot and forces them to evolve into something great or get destroyed and disappear forever. You have the power, not them. You have the power to make them rich or make them poor and force them to learn a lesson. Start supporting people who want change and care for games like you and I. Share this video, watch it, comment, make your voice be heard, and let these companies know we're not okay with this mediocre games. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it, and till the next one.